Mushroom farming may seem like a strenuous and tiresome venture, but if you look closely, there is something quite attractive about it. There are many mushroom varieties across the world. In Kenya, farmers are familiar with the button mushroom and the oyster mushroom. Mushrooms are a nutrient-rich, profitable and underexploited crop. These edible fungi are a great source of lean protein, antioxidants and essential vitamins. A homestead in Deya, Limuru in Kiambu County looks like any other peri-urban setup. At the corner of the compound stands one-room wooden house, rectangular in shape. The hut is Leonard Mukirai's mushroom farm. Leonard Mukirai and his partner Bob Kimako are both graduates who are running thriving mushroom enterprise that has enabled them create a fortune. The idea of mushroom farming came to mind because they had pursued mushroom production as a course at the university. From this, they started mushroom farming as an agribusiness venture within a farm known as Bunny L Farm. At the time Leonard and Bob were putting up their mushroom farm, they did not have much capital for investment. They decided to do different side jobs which could help them save up money to buy mushroom seeds, concentrates, and the necessary mushroom requirements.
Bunny L Farm is a farm that deals with mainly focusing on mushroom farming, the white button mushroom. So the idea came in us back after campus. I studied plant science and crop protection back in the University of Nairobi. Part of the units that we learned microbiology, and part of it touched our part of our production, that is mushroom, because mushroom is fungal. So the idea came in us. So I met my friend, my neighbor, Bob, from Egerton University. He also did the same course. He did biochem. He also touched somewhere about mushroom production. So we combined our ideas, went deep to the whole business plan. We had we had the idea in us, but we didn't have the capital to start up. So after laying every source that we had, we decided to start the project. Back then we didn't have the money to start the project. So we decided to do a bit of hustling here and there. Back then I had a motorbike, so I used to hustle per day. I had to save my own 500, maybe 700 per day. And within a month, Bob also got to his hustle, and he came up with something. So that's why we came up with the mushroom farming. And up to now, that's what we are doing.
Mushroom is a fungus and it is quite particular about its food source. Mushroom lacks the ability to use energy from sun. They are not green plants because they do not have chlorophyll. They extract their carbohydrates and proteins from rich medium of decaying organic matter vegetation. This rich organic matter must be prepared into nutrient-rich substrate composts that the mushroom can consume. What motivated Leonard and his partner Bob to start this kind of farming is the market potential and high demand of the mushroom.
After deep of research on mushroom, we realized that the mushroom has a good income. That is the mushroom farming. It is a daily activity. The returns come up daily, because mushroom develops very fast. The speed of mushroom production, it grows very fast. So it is a daily activity. So the same way it grows daily, the same way it requires our input. So it is kind of a tiresome job, but the returns are good.
Mushroom can be grown in any region of our country, provided there is shelter, reliable water supply, and stable temperature in the range of 15 to 30 degrees. Ever since Leonard and Bob ventured into mushroom farming, they have been able to acquire good profits from selling the button mushrooms to a variety of consumers.
When you talk about mushroom farming, it is a unique way of farming, because when it comes to the production part, we carry our substrate. That is the substrate, the kind of materials, the decomposed materials that we carry to the house. So we say it is a unique way of farming because you carry out your activities indoors, you see. So this is how it goes. You come up with the materials. You first of all decompose the materials because the mushroom seeds, they do well on decomposed matter where they can the seeds can get nutrients from the materials. So at first you prepare materials outside on the ground. You do the turnings, you prepare decomposed matter. Later you bring the bags to the house indoor. The house needs to be either a mud house because of the temperatures. So you bring the materials to the house and you push on. So our variety that we are planting here is the white button mushroom. It is a kind of mushroom that is the fruit-like. It has a small stem and a fruit. It's white in color. We also have other varieties. We have oyster mushroom. It grows like an umbrella-like. We also have the portabella mushrooms. We have the ganoderma mushroom, the shiitake. That's why majorly we are doing the button mushroom because outside there in the market it's doing well. And also the preparation part, we have gone through the preparation. We have done much of research, challenges and all things. So our main farm, we are dealing with the white button mushroom.
The button mushroom is round-headed with the shape of a fruit. It is also called the white button mushroom or a champignon, which is a secondary decomposer. This means that it cannot feed on fresh substrate, but instead the substrate must be decomposed first. Mushroom farming has a unique way of farming. This means it must follow a systematic process with keen observation.
In order to make equivalent distribution of the supplements, we make free turns oftenly every week, like once in a week, to make sure that the substrate has, the supplement has evenly distributed. So we just fetch from this side, tunailegeza kidogo on the other side to make sure the supplement ime spread vizuri to every part of the material. So like our main material here, we are using a wheat straw, like the one on the back there. It has undergone several processes and it's at the 4th week. It's almost ready for planting. Come the 2nd month, we plant. Come the 3rd and 4th month, that is the harvesting period. So the very first week, having your material, that is for us we use wheat straw. You can also use barley straw. You can use rice straw, or you can use the sugarcane baggies. Yeah. So for us, the wheat straw is readily available from back there near Narok. So we just deliver the wheat straw home to home. So having our wheat straw, they are the supplements we add. We add chicken manure the very first week. We add molasses. We also add bioactive microbes. That is an organic booster. So those supplements, we mix them on different ratios weekly. So in a week, we turn our compost twice. Immediately after opening the wheat straw, we add the supplements. We add the chicken manure, molasses and BM. We give it a period of 3 days. This during the very first week again, we add plenty of water because the wheat straw needs water so that it can absorb the nutrients that you are trying to mix. Come the 2nd week, we also add other nutrients. We add cotton seed, we add MOP and we add urea. They are sources of ammonia because the substrate itself, the compost, needs lots of decomposing. So ammonia is a main component of decomposition. So we also get to the 3rd week, we also add agricultural lime in our substrate. That is to maintain the pH level of the substrate. So we also get to the 4th week, we add gypsum that drains water. It drains excess water from the substrate. Later on, we sterilize our substrate. We use pesticides. We also have other options like the pasteurization chamber, where the substrate is directed to hot steam, very hot steam. So it is a way of sterilizing the substrate. Immediately we are through the 1st month, we plant. We purchase our seeds. They are called the spawns. We purchase immediately after preparation. Then immediately we get to the 2nd month, we plant and incubate in polythenes. Like in our case, you can see we have used the polythenes, 18 times 24, that is the size of the polythene. we bring our substrate in. Now it is ready. It is the substrate. It is not the wheat straw. It is substrate because it has the nutrients that we need. Because we understand mushroom do well on decomposed matter, waste materials. Like even also the wild mushrooms, they grow maybe on manure back in the forest where we have organic materials. So we introduce the seeds inside the polythenes. You can also use the beds, like you can see we have put a guard. So we also lay the sheet, the paper, we lay on this place and use the bed size. So like for our case, we have used the polythenes where we introduce the seeds and we incubate. We cover the polythenes. Like in our case, you see, it is covered. Immediately you cover the polythene. Now you maintain temperatures, cool temperatures. That is from 10 to 20 degrees. The mushroom do well on cold temperatures. You also provide humidity using an knapsack sprayer. We spray on the walls. Back then, we spray on the walls. Then again, it's also good to consider the house that you are using, you see. So that is also a major factor. After introducing our substrate in, we give it a period of 2 weeks. It always have formed the mycelium. The mycelium now, it is the growth, the web-like structure that forms. Immediately the mycelium forms, we come and add soil. We add 1 inch soil casing. The soil needs to be moist because the mycelium absorbs water for growth. So immediately after 2 weeks, we add soil. After adding soil, we again close the bags. We cover the bags to control much of temperatures. Immediately after covering, we continue with the activities of pouring water on the floor. That is to lower the room temperature. Normally room temperature is at 24 to 25 degrees. So we lower the temperatures to 10 to 20 degrees to allow mycelium growth. After that, after 2 weeks, that is the end of the second month, the mycelium will have penetrated through the soil, ready for opening of the bags. So immediately after mycelium formation, we open the bags to allow what we call pinning. Pinning is the formation of very tiny whitish. That is the formation of the mushroom. Immediately we start providing humidity. Humidity should now be supplied at a level of 85% humidity almost throughout the day. To maintain cool temperatures, to allow now the mushrooms to start absorbing the water. Immediately you notice the pinning, your mushrooms are ready for market.
Ordinary soils do not provide the right kind of nutrients for growing mushroom. Instead, other materials such as straw, sawdust, wood chips, and compost are used as a growing medium called substrate. Different types of mushrooms require different kinds of substrates. The process of growing button mushroom involves composting a substrate which has 2 phases: the pasteurization, final conditioning, spawning, and the incubation, casing, and fruiting. Since mushrooms are delicate, they need good attention and care for quality and maximum production.
It is something that is good to note about soil casing. The soil needs to be a black cotton soil because of its characteristics of the soil. The soil has air spaces in it. So, and again, the soil is not a kind of much compact, you see. So it allows the mushrooms, it allows easier growth, you see. Again, the soil is able to hold water. We also mix the soil with cocoa peat, the coconut fiber. The cocoa peat also allows holding water, because one thing about a mushroom, the soil, the moisture that you supply inside here, it's not supposed to penetrate through the substrate. It's supposed to remain on the part of the soil. The process of adding soil, we add on top of the substrate, on the very surface of the substrate, and we said we add 1 inch soil.
Mycelium is the vegetative part of a fungus-like bacterial colony consisting of a mass of branching, thread-like hyphae. The mass of the hyphae is sometimes called shiro, especially within the fairy ring fungi. Fungal colonies composed of mycelium are found in and on soil and many other substrates. A substrate is the surface on which an organism, such as a plant, fungus, or an animal, live. Additionally, Leonard expounds on what a farmer should look out for to distinguish mycelium on the mushroom plant.
Immediately after planting, in a period of 2 to 3 days, you realize that your spawn, it is a grain-like, it is pebble. You realize that it starts forming some web, you see. So the reason why we also use the clear bags is because you want to see the progress of your seeds, you see. So back then, even from outside, you can notice the spawns from a very distance, and you'll notice a white web-like structure that develops. The web structure develops as according to the input of water supply that is on the floor to maintain the low temperatures. So immediately you maintain the temperatures, the spawns works well.
We are taking a short commercial break. We will be back with more on mushroom production from Bunny L Farm.